Good morning from Los Angeles. Welcome to Trading with Sergio. How's everyone doing? How was everyone's weekend? It's been pretty awful weather in LA for us anyway. It's been raining for 3 days now. A lot of people say we need the rain, but then I don't think the city's built for rain. Literally within half an hour, there's puddles everywhere, and then it creates all these potholes afterwards. So drive carefully out there. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Training with Sergio every Monday, Wednesday, and on Fridays, Power Hour, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. What is going on? Not much good is going on in my account, honestly. Even with defined risk trades to the downside, when all your put credit spreads hit max loss, there is not much you can do. But thank God I had defined risk trades. Otherwise, I would be in the same camp as some of these, BMNR, SBET folks. I'm in SBET. I'm not in BMNR. Actually, I'm in kind of BMNR. I'll explain when I go to the positions. I want to actually go through, well, the government's open, so we will have some news coming out. Look, I don't like the market where it's at, especially the big caps. The small caps have been bleeding. There's been a bear market going on the last 5-6 weeks in all the small caps anyway, small to medium caps. I mean, a lot of stocks are down 40-50%, and I've been saying this in my members group. What's going to happen to these stocks if the indexes decide to go down 10-15%? Well, they're definitely not going to go against the trend, go up. I have the red hat on, appropriately so. Yeah, it's a tough situation. You buy index puts, you're really kind of grinding yourself to death. Not much is going on unless you're short the futures, which I think I'm going to do if this gets a little bit worse. I need to hedge. Although my account, I don't think can go any lower because my put credit spreads have hit max loss. I do post all my positions Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the community page of the YouTube channel. So please go check that out. Again, with the caveat, what I do is very risky. Don't follow me. You can follow some of your ex-gurus who are continuously pounding the catching knife table on BMNR. I have a great video coming out on BMNR today at noon Pacific, right after the show ends. And buyer beware. Just because, look, I do like Tom Lee. I think he's got a great following. But if you're just following Tom Lee or some influencer, I have another great video coming out about influencers and stocks and markets, right? If you're following somebody without knowing what the heck you're doing, get the heck out of the kitchen. It's just not your place. Um, Nobody knows what's going to happen to the market. Nobody knew when it was at 4,700, it's going to go down to 3,000. I said it. I said it on a very popular podcast. I said, everybody's talking the upside. I go, what about the downside? What about the risk on the downside? And nobody was talking about it, and nobody's still talking about it. And in fact, I'm going to go to my X feed and then read some of these fools' comments. Let me post the link up. If anybody or any of those folks want to show up, they're still drawing chopsticks on BMNR, and I'm going like, okay, knock yourselves out. I don't know what to do. I'm not upset. If you guys are following getting burned, you deserve what you're getting. So, do your own due diligence, man. It's not that difficult. We have all this AI tools these days, right? We have Grok. We have, I don't like open ChatGPT anymore because of Sam Altman's snake oil salesmanship. But long story short, buyer beware. Know what you're getting into. Just because Tom Lee says, oh, he still thinks Bitcoin is going to 200,000 by the end of the year. Come on, man. I don't know what we're smoking here, but Bitcoin is going nowhere but lower. It's on a drawdown of about 30%. Ethereum is 35%. Solana is 40%. These are big numbers, right? If this was on stocks, CNBC would be running a special saying bear market alert. And technically, market has entered bear market. Look, all I know, these things, Nobody knows what the market's going to do. You need to trade. If you need to trade, you need to trade. And then you put your trade on, and then, you look at the probabilities and the possibilities of the trade going sideways. I always do that. When I put the trade on, I knew what my max loss was going to be. And if I hadn't done that, my losses would be a lot more. Just like on a lot of folks who keep buying trying to catch the falling knife on BMNR. I'm like, BMNR. All I see is BMNR. Anyway, so we'll get back into that in a minute. Government's open. Not sure what we missed, but I guess we missed it. So let me go through what we're expecting to have this week. So Monday, today, New York Fed manufacturing data is coming out. Wednesday, Fed meeting, minutes from the last meeting, right? That's coming out on Wednesday. Very important. The last Mag 7's NVIDIA reports earnings after the close on Wednesday. I think that's going to make or break the market for a while, because a lot of the other Mag 7s or the AI related stocks, for example, such as Meta and Oracle, especially, they're all getting shot in the back of the house. So NVIDIA is going to either hold the market together or not, because it's a massive part of the market. It's like 8 or 9% of the market already. So then we're getting our first jobs report on Thursday, September's jobs report. Again on Thursday, Philly Fed manufacturing data. On Thursday, again, October existing homes. So this week, we're going to get an avalanche of macro or economic data, because the government was closed, BLS was closed, BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, they put out all these things. But then I don't know how the market's going to react. It's looking backwards, right? But market's still not pricing in a slowdown, although the job market is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And a lot of the Fed governors are talking hawkish, saying that we may not have a rate cut in December. Market had kind of factored in already. So I don't know. We'll see. On Friday, we have November PMI data, services PMI data. On Friday, we have November manufacturing PMI data. Again, on Friday, Michigan consumer sentiment data. These are not that important, but Michigan inflation expectation data on Friday again, and total of 14 Fed speakers talking this week. Buckle up. The economic stuff is back, but I think out of all this, the most important is going to be Wednesday on NVIDIA earnings, and probably as important will be on Thursday, September jobs report. Again, we're saying September. Listen to this. We're talking 2 months back now. We're already in November, right? So how much is this data valid or valuable to the market? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. So what else is going on? Well, we're getting crypto winter. A lot of people are talking about BMNR. All I hear is BMNR, and like, okay, cool. I don't know. I mean, I'm in SBET at 0.83 MNAV, and I think BMNR is just about to go under 1 MNAV. MSTR is under 1 MNAV if you figure out everything else. If you don't know what MNAV is, I have done a billion videos on the channel. Go check it out. If you don't understand MNAV, if you don't understand what the structure of the DAT is, DAT meaning Digital Asset Treasury Company, do not be involved in these, because Tom Lee is on CNBC saying something. Again, Tom Lee is, okay, let's say he's the permeable. There are some bears, but even with all this drawdown that we had on Ethereum and BMNR, to the tune of close to 50%, really, in a month or so, on BMNR specifically, and I think it's about to go under 1 MNAV, join the rest of the group, is people are still going BMNR. I'm like, okay, cool. Every day it's going down 10%. I'm like, today is down, I think, 8-9% again. BMNR is the tail, the dog is ETH. You can draw chopsticks on ETH, no problem, I accept. But if you're going to keep drawing lines on BMNR charts saying this is support, this is resistance, it means nothing. So if you want to come on and talk to me about it and educate me about it, you're more than welcome to do so. But if you're just buying this because some influencer said so, you're a fool and you're going to lose. And, I mean, is Tom Lee going to be wrong on this? I don't know. I hope not. But then my positions are at max loss, so it doesn't get any worse for me. I mean, when I put him on, I knew exactly what my risk was, and it got to the risk. So good morning, everyone. Let's answer some questions. If anybody wants to come on, here's the link. Grab it and come on. All I ask that you're in a quiet place with a good internet reception. The other thing is I want to mention my condolences to one of my members. I'm not going to mention names. There are a few members here watching now. We have a tight group. We have a supportive group. My condolences. I really didn't even want to do this today. It really came out as a shock for me. His wife passed away. And, this puts a lot of things into perspective, okay? I honestly didn't want to even turn the computer on today, but not because of that, not because when things like this happen, you understand how short life is, and then you worry about what Tom Lee said, what this said, what that said, chasing the almighty dollar, like it means nothing, right? So my condolences to him and his family. Our prayers, our groups are prayers with him, and we're here for him as a member, as the leader of the group, and whatever he needs, we're here to support him. So again, my condolences. All right, so SJ, good morning. Noor, good morning, Noor. Will, thank you. Okay, I disagree with this comment. AI cannot cook the way I cook. Well, that's probably the way you cook if you're really a good cook. But please do understand that AI is going to. Oh, great! I'm glad you do, and I hope you're doing well. I would love to come visit your. There are the famous names in Austin and Texas, obviously, but Texas is the motherland. And when it comes to barbecue, I love it. There is one place here called Moose Barbecue in LA that it's very, very close to Texas. I've had barbecue in Texas, and Texas is amazing because they do it simple, but they do it so well. Moose Barbecue is as close as you can get to Texas barbecue. And maybe at that level, not, but maybe at the fast food level, I think robots are coming. The founder of Uber, Travis Kalanick, working through his ghost kitchens, he's actually figuring out what kind of robots to put in these restaurants. A lot of people are going to lose jobs with AI, even the smallest unimportant jobs, as some may think. Good morning, John. Good morning. Hang in there. I know you have some Bitcoin exposure. So do I. I bought more Bitcoin this morning, Monday morning. Monday mornings, DCA time, dollar cost average time. Do you know it's the end of the year, people get layoffs for company projects and plans? Layoffs are the natural part of the time. No, sir, that's not true. There is no timing for layoffs. Layoffs have been happening all year. Okay. This is just like you saying there's Santa Claus rally. Maybe this year he's not going to show up. Maybe he's stuck in the chimney. So I don't believe any of that. Look, a lot of these AI folks, a lot of these AI tech bros, make the comparison of, oh, look, we had the horse and buggy, and then the steam engine came, and then actually there were more jobs created. This is not a good comparison. This is just like today's AI boom that's going on. Is it a good comparison to 2000.com bubble? Some are, for sure. Some stocks are, but some probably not. But we will all know this, okay? We will all know the consequences in the financial markets, in society. More importantly, in society, we will all find out what this AI thing is about. I'm certainly not buying any of the snake oil salesman Sam Altman's bullshit. So there is a rush to do all this. And it's going to change society forever. It's going to definitely replace a lot of jobs. As much as I respect and like Elon Musk, him coming out on Joe Rogan and saying one after the other, maybe he said this 20 times in a 5-minute period. He said AI is going to create utopia. AI is going to bring on universal high income. We don't even need universal basic income. Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan. He doesn't understand finance. He didn't press him. I go, how do we get there? How do I get there, Elon? How do I get to universal high income with AI? You tell me. Okay, do I have to retrain myself? Do we have to retrain all these truckers who are going to lose their jobs for autonomous trucking? How do we get there, Elon? Tell me. How do I get to universal high income? Does that mean everything that I buy, the cost is going to be zero? What does that mean to the rest of the companies that are manufacturing these goods? I don't know. I mean, I have questions. I have kids. I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm fine. But I definitely am cautious about this AI thing, the tsunami that Elon calls it. This is a tsunami, and we'll see. We're gonna all find out. You know, hopefully I'm healthy and I'm alive, and I'll look out for my family, for my kids. The rest is the rest. You know, but yeah, I'm not buying any of that. Hey, Lynn, how are you? Mojo, good morning. I still own 200 shares of down 12.13 in the last 2 weeks. I'm thinking of buying 2 protective puts before NVIDIA earnings. What do you think will happen? I have no idea what's going to happen in NVIDIA earnings. I usually don't get involved in NVIDIA and Palantir. Look, there's a lot of talk about Palantir being shorted by Michael Berry. I don't think, I don't give a rat's ass of what Michael Berry is doing, because he was right once, and he was 2 years late, but he was right on the great financial crisis, shorting the housing stocks, not stocks, but shorting housing. I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, okay, you're down 12-13% in the past 2 weeks, but then what if you bought it? Depends when you bought it, right? I mean, if you bought the high, yeah, okay, you know, you're down, gonna be down a lot more. I don't think Nvidia and Palantir, you know, I mean, look, they're the poster children, right, for what's going on. I mean, Palantir not as much in AI, but Nvidia definitely is the poster child for AI. If Nvidia hiccups here, we're in deep shit. So yeah, I think definitely I agree with this. See, I don't agree with that, but I agree with this. Absolutely, yeah. Well, Nvidia is 8% of the S&P 500. It was a $5 trillion company. I mean, you know, S&P 500 is a market cap weighted index. So if Nvidia goes, so goes everything else. Although a couple of other Mag 7s are holding, couple are shot. I don't know, man. You know, you just protect yourself. And I mean, I am 70% cash. I'm still bleeding, even with cash. So, you know, I put a video out on Friday. You know, I'm 80% cash. Position size is going to save your ass. If your account cannot handle 200 shares of Palantir, take your 12% loss, get out. Even if you buy puts, because the market's kind of shaky now and implied volatility is going up. But I mean, yeah, if you're going to buy puts, if you're going to buy out of the money puts, most likely they're going to expire worthless, and then you're going to increase your cost basis. So I don't know, you know. But if Nvidia hiccups here, we're in deep shit. Oh, we did something. Look, I have some orders to sell. I have some orders to buy. We'll see how it goes. Nothing major, really small, very, very small. Crypto cards getting filled over here. Clarity. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I keep DCAing into Bitcoin every Monday. I've been doing it all year. I'm going to continue doing it. Long term, you have to start thinking long term. Obviously, you know, I don't trade Bitcoin. I can't. I don't. I would highly recommend nobody should trade Bitcoin. You know, look what's happening to all these leverage positions in Bitcoin, right? They get liquidated, and on the upside, they get liquidated on the downside. 2 weeks ago, when we had the calamity, look what happened to altcoins of Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is down to 92,000, right? I think I paid more for it this morning. I don't know what I bought, but I sold. Yeah, I'm selling some stuff now, raising more cash. Let's see where crypto is. Bitcoin 92,678, Ethereum 3,050, Solana 131. Solana actually is the one that's getting killed the worst, which is interesting to me. I mean, today's high on that thing is 143. Today's low is 130. But yeah, I had some Solana positions, put credit spreads that I closed. Not max loss, pretty close to max loss. But then again, put credit spreads, protect you to a point on the downside. You know, but there's losses involved. Good. Yeah, I mean, long periods, I think over long periods of time, I think Bitcoin, Ethereum are going to do fine. But people blindly going into BMNR and other, you know, or MSTR. I mean, today's video is going to be a good one. You go check it out at noon. So please subscribe, put a thumbs up if you're not following me. I call it the way I see it. I run everything with full transparency. You know, I'm not one of these ex-furus, you know, they go like, oh, look at me, look at me. I'm like, bro, you don't have a losing trade? I mean, I don't follow any of these folks because my feed is full, because the ex-algo knows that I'm kind of looking at it, and then he keeps feeding me more of the same garbage. You know, I haven't met any furu that says, look at me, I'm losing money. I'm like, you know, I mean, how do you make money? You know, if you're not short in this market, how are you making money? And then a lot of people go, oh, look, I sold my cover calls. My cover calls are printing. Well, if your cover calls are printing, that means the underlying is dying. That's the only reason the calls are getting printing cover calls. So what good is a cover call when a stock is down 50% in 2 weeks and you took like a couple of bucks premium, 3% premium? Big effing deal. So I don't understand. I really don't understand. I mean, either I'm the dumb one in the room or they're all the dumb ones in the room. So we'll figure that out pretty soon, though. If you're not short this market, you're not making money. Period. You know, you can fool some idiots or YOLOers on X saying, "Oh, look at me, my short calls are. I bought the calls back." Okay, great. What happened to the underlying? What happened? Oh, it went up. It went up. You wouldn't have bought the calls back at a lower price. Unless data decay took care of it, and then you're just selling weekly calls, short-term calls, and then yeah, maybe your stock can go sideways or up, and your calls will expire worthless. But none of these people are like that. They're all into these high flyers, NBISs, CLSKs, and IRENs, and you know they're all just eating it every day, 4, 5, 6%. All the quantum stocks, all these things, right? All the AI power generators. I'm like, whatever, bro. Every tech revolution is history brought in a revolution. Yeah, I mean, look, we'll see. I don't know. I think I'm not buying anything the tech bros are selling. In fact, I went at someone who supposedly is a Harvard degree and you know, who's a VC. Supposedly he knows you know, the other channel, and he contended that Waymo is not going to replace Uber drivers. He says Waymo is going to replace nannies, and I go, bro, get out of your bubble. I go, what the fuck are you talking about? And I invited him to come on the other channel, because I do the most popular podcast in the nation when it comes to the gig economy on the other channel. And I said, let's go talk about it. And then he goes, oh, I know Harry. I'm like, no, I'm not Harry, bro. You know, come talk to me, right? So, you know, hey, you know, these people, these tech bros, they're just, you know, they just go where the money's at, and then they go into interviews, and Sam Altman throws a fit and leaves an interview. Sam Altman then clarifies, saying that, oh, if AI fails, it's the national security risk, government has to backstop this. I go F yourself, Sam Altman. Nobody needs to backstop anything. Look what happened when we backstopped in 2008. What happened? Man, passed all the garbage down the road. So, you know, this needs to end. This too big to fail bullshit needs to end. Look, if you don't have the money, don't spend it. If you have a 1.3 trillion capex budget and your revenue is 20 billion, I mean, that's the other thing I keep thinking about. All this money is being spent, and what's the ROI on this thing? What's the return on capital on AI? Unless AI figures out the cure for cancer and then can grow crops with zero cost, and all our, you know, everything we buy goes to zero, energy cost goes to zero, all that. Yeah, but that's like, what are we talking about here? I mean, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of as confused as everybody else is. Yeah, capitalism at its finest. Not really. I mean, you know, in capitalism, you know, I'm fine, man. You know, I'm 57. I really don't give a rat's ass. I'm financially set the rest of my life. So is my family. But how's middle America doing? How are Americans doing? You know, capitalism is fine. I'm a capitalist to the bone. Okay. But then there's capitalism and there's snake oil salespeople. And, you know, if capitalism is just billionaires collect more billions, I'm like, okay, cool. All power to you. But then who's going to suffer, right? I mean, I'm a capitalist, but I'm a fair capitalist, let's say. Fair. You know, definitely not a socialist. Look what they're experimenting in New York City. Yeah, I don't know. But look, you set your agenda, you talk about it, and then you go on with it. You know, a lot of people just talk shit and go like, "What are you talking about?" Like, in fact, you know, it's a good time to go to my X feed and read some of these fools' comments. It's entertaining to me now. I really, really, really liked, uh, you know, I really like the entertainment value for, you know, for this. Okay, so I'm going to my X feed now. First X feed. There, first one immediately. BMNR is now officially down 50% from October highs in just 1 month. At least this guy is just calling it the way it's saying. He's saying it. Okay. And here's a fool from Uber. You know, I should fucking, yeah, Andy Mack. Andy Mack, why don't you come on the show, Andy? We can discuss about this. Okay. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to get into trouble. All right, here's this guy says there isn't a sell everything signal now, but it's a clear warning. Okay, I kind of agree with that. Okay, here's another one that's very popular on X. More and more choppiness to start the week. Feels like markets dealing with these issues. Japan's getting ready to print 110 billion. We already know this. Tell me something I don't know. Okay. Here's a see. Here's one. Here's one. Positions expiring this week that will likely be assigned. Well, you're deep in the money on the puts, right? Okay, cool. And then he puts in ARM with a fire sign saying 48.31 in premium. Okay, think about it. Okay, so here's the positions. MSTX 15 put. He's going to get assigned. Webull. Okay, MSTX. I think MSTX is. Let me see. He goes like this. I collected premium, right? Okay, we're going to just do a little quick calculation on this one. MSTX. Let's see where MSTX is at. 676. He has 15 puts. Naked. So he's getting assigned. Webull, 12.5 puts. Stock is 9. Assignment. HIMS, 47 and 48 puts. Stock is 35. So Oscar, 17. Stock is 13.5. Okay. This is just the puts that he's short and he's going to get assigned. And then he does this 47, 48, 31 premium. Okay. So he's short 4 puts on MSTX. 4. Stock, he's short of 15 puts. Stock is 6.5. Those puts that he sold are worth 9.5. So he's looking at the premium he collected with the arm and the fire sign. On all these positions, he's down 20 grand from just an eyeballing it. He's short HIMS 50 puts, 5 options. Stock is 35. Those puts he sold, probably a couple of bucks, are worth 15. You guys get it? Okay. So what's the purpose of this fool doing this and with a fire sign on Twitter? And some other fool is going to come see that right there and say, oh, selling puts is risk-free. I love selling puts. I'm like, good for you. You're going to get stuck. Now you become an investor. From from a trader, you're now becoming an investor. These are the people that should, that unfortunately have a following and people follow them. And hopefully regular folk who are on, Robinhood don't get hurt. Let me look at some BMNR bloodbath news. Let's see. There we go. If you own BMNR right now, you better be hoping ETH drop to 2,700 in the coming days. They hold 600 million in cash right now. Dumbass. Okay, a fall to 2,700 would enable them to buy 10% more with their current cash pile. Okay, and then it goes to 2,000. Then what? Cash is over. In fact, I tweeted it out. BMNR is going under 1 MNAV. Under 1 MNAV, there is no ATM sales because that's eating your flesh. Okay, now what? Maybe they should keep that money and buy back stock and increase their ETH holdings that way. Oh, no. See, everything is bullish on BMNR still. Everything. Bro, it's a falling knife. You're catching a falling knife, right? Okay. If you're long-term, just say I'm long-term bullish. I'm eating it badly right now. And there is another influencer who's influencing ASST now. That's a dollar stock, and here's another one. New Tom Lee BMNR message. Let's see how many followers this fool has. 8,500 followers. Ethereum still massively mispriced. Stable coins all-time high. Market makers are repairing October 10th. This is the new thing which you get going on now. Yeah, more BMNR, more open door, more ASST. You know, I sure hope you people are just not listening to these fools, because you're going to get hurt. You are getting hurt. More BMNR. Let's see if there's more BMNR. Because I started like saying, I don't want to read that kind of garbage comment. More BMNR. Let's see. Oh, there's one. Tom Lee is going to be on Halftime Report on CNBC. Cool. And then here's another fool. Says, safe to say Wall Street is bullish on ETH and BMNR. Okay. Time to run this back. MSTR on 250,000 left October during their sell-off. Stock price fell to 183. That's another one. MSTR. There's 199, but now they own 670. Well, if you bought, which one would you be better off? If you bought Bitcoin last December 25th, or if you bought MSTR December 25th? You're down 50% on MSTR. Bitcoin is just about 10% lower than what it was last December. What else? What else? What else? You know, it's all still, they're still going at it. They're like, yeah, I love, you know, BMNR. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know, man. So all I'm saying is protect yourself, folks. Don't listen to these fools. These fools are going to say what fits their book, and they're just copy and paste other people's shit just to get some clicks out of it, you know? And then, Michael Saylor, I mean, MicroStrategy bought 8,200 more Bitcoin at 102. It's 92. I'm like, okay, cool. So they're collecting Bitcoin, and Tom Lee is collecting ETH, right? Okay. Here's BMN Bitcoin's last holdings. Everybody's just talking about this now. 11.8 in crypto plus moonshots, 3.55 million ETH at 3,120 ETH. That's not their average, actually. BMNR has close to 4 billion loss now on their ETH position, but nobody talks about those things. Again, I am bullish on Ethereum. I'm bullish on Bitcoin long term. Short term looks pretty fucking awful. Pretty goddamn awful. You know, I mean, I understand all this stuff, but all I'm saying is what's going to happen now if BMNR goes to, see, there's another one. Stock Trader Max. BMNR has 600 million in cash. ETH is at 3,100. Ingredients for greatness. Seriously? Okay, they buy ETH at 3,100. ETH goes to 2,500. Then what? And it goes under 1 MNAV. They cannot do more ATM sales, because it doesn't make sense to do ATM sales and, you know, under 1 MNAV. And then what now? Now out of cash now. Who's going to buy Ethereum now? Again, long term, I'm bullish. Short term, stay away from these fools. These fools will take you to the bankrupt house. Yeah. So just be careful, folks. You know, I do believe in Tom Lee. I think he's a brilliant man, but do your own due diligence. Don't go into BMNR, SPAT, DFTV, MSTR because you like you know, you like some influencer. So tech bros want government valves. Well, yeah, that's typical. That's what happens. And not this time, hopefully. Hopefully the Trump administration, I think David Sachs, who's the Trump's AI and crypto czar, said no government bailouts. I'm like, my hat's off to you, David Sachs. Don't get, just because Sam went to White House, kissed the ring a couple times. No. Yeah, don't spend the money you don't have, Sam. There's like 5, 6, and then the Chinese ones. There's 5, 6 other AI folks that are working on it. You know, you're not the only one. Doesn't Japan need to be printing? They have been printing. The whole world is printing. Their debt to GDP is highest in the world, in the globe. They have to. So that's why, you know, that's why the printing machines are going to continue, because the musical chairs cannot end at this point. If they end this will be collapse. This will be 1929. So they will have to keep pumping, printing, spending, printing, more printing, and that's why I'm bullish long term on ETH, on Bitcoin, because the printing machines cannot stop. It's just now the government's actually at the point that too big to fail. We can't stop the printers. We just can't. And short-term, yeah, short-term pain, long-term gain, yeah, I understand. And but that's what's been going on for 10 years, since actually 2008, right? Once we said not too big to fail and dumped all the garbage banks into bigger banks, consolidated them. Yeah, I was playing those days, so I know what happened. And now, yeah, too big to fail. We can't stop the music now. Look, there's one chair, there's 9 people in the room. We can't stop the music now. We need to keep printing. We need to keep debasing. We need to keep devaluing the US dollar. You're going to lose buying power every year to the tune of 6, 7, 10%. And I don't know. That's inflationary in my book, right? We keep printing. And we'll see. We'll see where all this is going to end up. Yeah. Yep. That's important. You know, VIX above 20, hangs around above 20. Not many good things happen. You need to be careful with VIX. So I don't know where we are, but let's go check out what kind of calamity we're facing. Although I'm at max loss, so I don't think it's going to get much worse. You guys can see this. Yeah, the ASST. There is an influencer called Mike Alfred. He's pumping ASST. And I'm going like, okay, cool. I don't have much really. I mean, I have a lot of leaps on ASST going out to 2027. I did a cover strangle on BMNU, which is 2x ETF of BMNR. And I will get assigned another 1,000 shares. So I bought the shares at 9.36. I sold the 10 puts and the 10 calls expiring this Friday for $2.30. So if I do get assigned, I will buy another 1,000 shares of BMNU, which is the 2x ETF of BMNR at 770, which is fine. And then I'll manage myself out of it. I have some puts on Beyond Meat. I'm going to try to get out of it. They expire this Friday. I have them for sale. I'm long 5,000 shares of BZAI at 243 average. Stock is 238. No big deal. I'm trying to liquidate, which I did liquidate actually 3,000 shares of FTHM. That wasn't a loss. I put on December call debit spreads on ORCX, which is the 2x ETF of Oracle. That's getting killed. SBET, they're at max loss. There's not much I can do about it at this point. I'm short put credit spreads going out to January 2026, 15s and 12.5s. Stock is 1040. They're at max loss. And I got out of SOLT put credit spreads. I put them on at $1. I got out at $1.30, $1.40, $1.50, and today I got the last 25 out at $1.85. Not at max loss, but pretty close. So we're taking losses. We're taking on water. And it seemed like we're getting a whoosh effect going down on Bitcoin and everything else. And SPY is retesting the daily low. I mean, look, things are ugly. I'm not going to deny it. And let's see where the 92.4 on Bitcoin. Ethereum is 3,025 and Solana is 130. I think I may buy some SOLT myself now at some point. Because I had to put credit spreads on, but there were 12 10s. The stock is 8, so I'm not going to get assigned at 11. So, yeah. Yeah, ETH is 3,000 almost. That should be, that's the last support, I guess. Bitcoin, so what was the high on Bitcoin? About 127, so we're down about 30%-ish. And all these fools out there, they're going to keep saying, oh, Bitcoin is great, MSTR is doing great. Okay, let's look at MSTR. MSTR down to 191, on its way to 175 most likely. It's under 1 MNAV, first time. Where's BMNR? Let's see where BMNR is at. 31 now, down $3, down about 10%. And yeah, they're gonna go. Tom Lee said buy BMNR. I'm like, okay, good luck. I ain't doing any of that. I mean, I will do the BMNU, which is the 2x ETF. Hopefully, I'll get assigned. And at this price, I'm obviously going to get assigned. The calls will so what's a covered strangle? Covered strangle is where you buy the underlying, sell the put, sell the calls. and collect premium. So for 1 week, I collected $2.30 after I bought the stock at 9.36. It's 8, so I have a loss on the stock, but then I will get assigned another 1,000 shares on Friday if it's under 10. Who knows where it's going to be? If it's under 10, I'll get assigned another 1,000 shares at 770. Then 936, 770. My cost basis will be adjusted accordingly, and then we can sell some calls. We can do the same position again, sell some more puts and calls, some half-covered strangles. Just figure it out. It's not that big of a deal. But again, with all this position, cash position, still stocks are going down. Your account's going to get hurt if you're not short. And for all the people who kind of keep trying to catch a falling knife, I'm like, yeah, now the gurus will come out and say, oh, it's BMNR is breaking the 200 EMA, and they're going to go, oh, Cathy Woods bought more, and then some of them are going to draw lines, redraw the chopsticks. I go like, I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I'm kind of losing faith to all these folks who are kind of made themselves out to be the gurus on X. I distinctly remember I was on a podcast a month ago, and everybody was bullish. I'm still bullish, but what I said, what if Ethereum goes to 3,000? BMNR will be 30. They go like, oh, that's not going to happen. I'm like, why not? Well, here we are. I'm confused. You're calling people out on for pumping BMNR. Honest question, absolutely an honest answer. I am putting on a position at 31, 32 on BMNR for a bounce trade. I'm explaining myself now. On the 2x ETF of BMNR, which is BMNU. Okay, I just bought it at 936, literally on Friday. Okay. And then immediately I sold the 10 puts and 10 calls expiring this Friday. That's called a cover strangle. So if I do get called away, that's a 27% return for a week. If I don't get called away, okay, now listen to this carefully. If I don't get called away, I'm going to get assigned another 1,000 shares of BMNU at 770. Meaning 10 minus 230 is 770. Then I'm going to own 2,000 shares of BMNU with a cost of probably about 820, and stock is 8 already. Okay. Then I can go sell because they have weekly options. Then I can go sell calls on it or do whatever I need to do or sell more puts on it. I am just looking for a bounce trade because I think there will be a bounce here from probably 3,000 to 3,500. And because it's getting pretty oversold. And that's why I did the trade. But I am talking about these people on X pumping BMNR since 70. And they just keep drawing lines, doing technical analysis on BMNR. You should not be doing technical analysis on BMNR. What you should be doing is technical analysis on Ethereum, because BMNR follows Ethereum. BMNR is not going anywhere. BMNR is going to go up if Ethereum goes up. BMNR is going to go down if Ethereum goes down. Proven the point. So that's my answer. I appreciate the question. And when I do put a trade on, I size correctly and I have an exit. I already had in mind, okay, I don't mind owning another 1,000 shares of BMNU at 770. Okay, we're at 8. Will I get assigned? Will BMNU will it be under 10 by Friday? Potentially, but I'm already counting on that I don't mind getting another 1,000 shares at 770, right? Okay, and then I can figure the trade out again. I can go sell $10 calls, weekly calls. They're probably very juicy premiums on it, and keep lowering my cost basis. But I'm doing it here at this level. I'm not doing it at 70, 60, 50, because at 70, 60, 50, MNAV on BMNR was 1.7, 1.8. Now we're down to 1.1 MNAV, maybe lower. I'm trying to get BMNR at 1 MNAV, meaning just like all the other debts. My SBET position I put on at 0.85 MNAV, I'm eating it. So I think all these DATs, digital asset treasury companies, don't belong above 1 MNAV. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting the trade on now. I didn't put it on a week ago, a month ago, and didn't pump anything. I think there will be just a little bit of a bounce back, kind of a rally, and then that's all I'm playing for 4 days now, for this Friday. That's trading. And if they take it away from me, like for example, if the stock is at 10, they take it away, so my sale price is going to be 10 plus the 230 premium I took in, 1230. I paid 9.5 for the stock. That's about 30% return for a week. I'll take that trade all day long, all day long, all day long. Yeah, that's it. Just a bounce play with the weekly options. So it's a covered strangle. Bought the stocks, sold the puts, sold the calls, equal amounts. Right? If I get called away at 10, it's a 30% trade. If I don't get called away at 10, I will own another 1,000 shares at 770, which I'm willing to do. And then at that point, I may do probably a 50% strangle, meaning I will sell 10 more puts, but then this time I'll sell 20 calls. And then all I'm doing is trying to accumulate a position here for a bounce play. That's all I'm doing. All I'm doing here. Well, you have to start somewhere. The talk is over your head, but all I can tell you is you have to start somewhere, right? I mean, I recommended for my members group, and I put it on my chat group. There's technical analysis books. There's option for dummies. In fact, you can go buy one, start learning what I'm talking about. It's not as difficult as you think it is. Hymns, thoughts, downtrend, deadly. Selling CSPs at the cost. Okay, fine. I mean, I don't know how much value you're going to get out of those puts, but if you go out 30 days, probably you get a little decent premium. I don't even know where the stock is. That stock is the stock that I cannot have a handle on for some reason. Every time I think it's going up, it goes down. Every time I think it's going down, it goes up. Let's take a look. Look at that. I mean, fuck. Look at that. I mean, I mean, 40 did not hold this time, right? So under 200 EMA, I don't like buying. I mean, I see support. I don't know. I'm playing chopsticks now. Look, I can play chopsticks as well as anybody on the planet, but I see support at 10, at 30, 27, 26. I like that point right there. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, how far you need to go out, though, is the question, right? How far? All right. If you go weekly, well, I would go weekly, just take less money and then just keep collecting premium because this is weekly options. So weekly 30s are 10, 11 cents, not worth it. So you're going to go out 30 days, go out to December 30s, $1.20, $1.30 will put you at 28.80. If you go to the 27s, they're about 70, 80 cents. Yeah, it'll give you 27. I don't mind. And then don't shoot your wad all at once. That's all I can say. I mean, it's in a downtrend. It's just every day. It's just, if this is not a downtrend, short-term downtrend, I don't know what it is. Again and again, there are pumpers of hymns as well. Just like I said, BMNR, right? And just rallying now, short-term. All I'm doing is short-term shit. Trading is different. I have an investment account, or FYI, I have 4 stocks in that investment account. So I said this a million times. If you've been following me enough, I have Google, great minds think alike. I don't know what this is. Let's close that one. Okay. All right. So I have Google that I bought an April low. Got lucky. No Warren Buffett got on board. I just bought UPS a couple days ago. I have Kava that I'm eating on, and I have Lululemon that I'm even on, or maybe up a little bit. Replaced my Nike with that. Got lucky with Nike. Got lucky with Unity Software this year. After a double, I sold that. And so 4 stocks, long-term investment. But in my trading account, I'm trading. I'm trying to stay active and trade, make some money. At the close, yeah, do whatever. I would wait, man. I mean, it's in a downtrend. I would wait until it gets to maybe 32 or so and then put the puts on, But then why not buy the stock, right? I mean, I understand can't secure puts. It's all good, but why not? So, yeah, that's where we are. Any questions? Any more questions? Anybody want to come on? No? Please come on. Keep me company. Here's the link. My point in all of this, folks, is if you're just blindly following some influencer on X, you're going to get hurt because they always put the positive spin on it, right? Just like that fool that's going to get assigned all these shares. Hims is going to get assigned at 50, and he puts a strong arm with a fire sign saying, I collected 4,800 premium. All the underlying stocks that he puts up, MSTX is down 9 points from where his puts are at. Naked puts are at. Hims is down 15 points. I mean, look, these people just go, oh, I collected this much premium. Great. Wonderful. Okay. Here's a smaller example of that. Meta, right? You collected premium. Great. Okay. Stock was 760. Earnings are coming out. All right. You thought, all right, I like Meta at 700. Let me sell some cash secure puts. Okay, cool. You sold the puts a few days out or a month out. You collected $10 because you're already 70 points out of the money, 60 points out of the money. And you like Meta at 600, 700 minus the 10, which is the premium you're collecting if you want out 30, 40 days. Okay. Next day, stock opens at 660. We're just hitting 600 now. That $10 put is $100 now. What are you going to do now? You're going to take it at 700 or you're going to roll. In order to roll and do it with credits, now you have to kick the can down the road literally 6 months for you to potentially do it with credits, potentially, which I don't think you can, but let's say you can. Now you're stuck in that position, missing all the other opportunity costs, right? Because your account couldn't handle buying it, and then you change your mind maybe. So these are the problems. These are the problems that I see, that ex-gurus do not tell the whole story. There is a story. There is the other side of the coin in all of this. Holding a bag is fine. I'm holding the bag in a couple of positions. But admit that you're holding the bag. And then say, hey, shit happens. This is trading. This is investing. You could be wrong. You know, you could be wrong. I don't know about 99%. There are some people I respect and, you know, follow on Twitter, but most of them are just only put up their wins. Like, look at me. Look at me. I collected this much premium. Yeah, but the underlying stock is down $40,000. You collected $4,000 in premium. What about it? I don't know. Definitely waiting to buy 25% on my load at Hims at 30. Yeah, fine. Cool. At least you have some. See this guy right here, or gal, has a plan. Falls with the 3 Ps, right? Patience, position, and planning. He has a plan. Definitely waiting to buy 25% of my load at Hims at 30. There you go. See, he's scaling in. He's doing it the right way, right? He's not doing the get-rich-quick scheme. He's not doing any of that stuff. Playing bounce to 200 SMA. Yeah, okay, fine. That's cool. I may even join you on that one. And, you know, that's it. That's it. You're welcome, man. Yeah, I mean, here, there's no BS, no spin zone here. We don't spin anything here. We look at losses. We treat the losses as losses. We treat the gains as gains. We don't go too high. We don't go too low. We don't fly too high with gains. We don't go too low, because look what happens to the markets, right? Look what happens to these stocks. In fact, you know, while I'm at it, let's go through some charts. Let's look at some stuff. Oh, not this one, this one. Yeah, I would like to have some of these furus come in. I don't know what this screen is. What the fuck? This morning I turned my what is happening? Seriously, what is happening? I don't want to look at this. What? Oh, I don't know what's going on. I turned my Think or Swim this morning. There it is. Like, how do I get rid of the screen now? I'm not even sure. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. No, that did not work. How do I get rid of the screen, folks? Seriously. Fuck. It's somehow stuck. You're welcome. Okay, listen to TOS. Refresh. Refresh, man. Stop listening. Okay, this thing is stuck. I don't know how to get rid of it. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Oh shit! You guys are gonna have to. Oh, I didn't even click on this goddamn thing. I don't know. Trader Lounge. I didn't click on this. I don't want to listen to TOS. I don't want to refresh. I don't want to do any of this shit. Okay. Yeah, but if I go to the charts now, it's going to show me that screen now. Mother humper. Something is going on with my. Okay. How do we do this? Okay, we're at the right screen, but then it's not giving me that. Oh. If I click on it, the window's going to be there now. Okay. Chat. Main chat. I don't want it. What? And it's not closing it. Okay. I don't know. I may not be able to do this. Something is wrong. Yeah. I can even go to the charts now. Because this is not letting me. Mother humper. Okay, let's remove. Let's do this. Okay. Okay. Yep. I just can't do it. Sorry, folks. Can't go to the charts. I have to be. I can't even do the. Anyway, something's going on. Anyway, I'll be back on Wednesday, folks. So I don't know how to fix this, honestly. It's quite disturbing. I want to go to the charts and show you guys some of the calamities that's going on, but then somehow it won't let me. Yep, just won't let me. Yeah, there's much I can do about it. Control Alt Delete is not doing it either. Hey, next time. We'll chat on Wednesday. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay, cool. I'm looking at a lot of small cap AI stocks. They're getting crushed. Yeah, they are. They're going to continue getting crushed. ACHR actually is one that I'm looking at. ARCX is the 2X ETF. Yeah, 30% last, not 30 days, the last 2 weeks. Nothing. This is what happens. This is the other side of the coin. They get too hot, and then you get slammed. Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of the screen. It's irritating the fuck out of me now. Yeah, can't do it. Yeah, definitely. What's going on with the air stocks? I don't know. They shouldn't have gone up that much and then coming back to earth. How about CLSK? How about Riot? How about Mara? How about Oklo? How about MBIS? How about all the computing stocks? Good question. Just dollar cost average. I wouldn't be looking at individual stocks. Just dollar cost average into an index. Individual stocks take a lot of hand holding and care. I just dollar cost average into an index. Passive investing. If you don't understand stocks, if you don't understand what's going on, you can look at rotation. There's definitely rotation going on. If we get into economic uncertainty, usually utilities do well, utility stocks do well. None of the high tech does well. Consumer cyclicals are okay, but just dollar cost averaging to an ETF, man. And there are many ETFs, by the way, right? So it's going to depend. Look, I wouldn't do anything other than dollar cost averaging to ETF if you're a novice, because I'll end with this: on longer periods of time, not that many people can beat the markets. Very few actually can, in handful. So when I say markets, the benchmarks. So time spent in the markets is definitely better than time spent timing the market. So just be involved. Dollar cost average. I wouldn't go into individual shares, and you will do fine. That's all you need to do. Yeah. So anyway, folks, I don't know. We're stuck on the same screen. Can't do much about it. I'll be back on Wednesday. Hopefully, we'll fix this shit when I go back. And yeah, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Trading with Sergio. If you like it, please put a thumbs up. Some of you should come on once in a while. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, it's okay. But I would prefer you to subscribe. And then pass the word around. No spin zone here. No bullshit zone. I call it the way I see it. And I would love some of you to come on and talk about all the stuff that's going on. And we'll see. We'll see where we end up today. But red hat is the color of the day. And Wednesday, we'll see what happens. Tomorrow, we'll have a lot of big news coming out this week. We have NVIDIA earnings coming out, and we have unemployment numbers coming out. So a lot going on this week. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me go fix my stuff. So when I got back on Wednesday, we can share the Thinkorswim screen and look at some disaster charts. But you all know what they are. Like a couple of them said it already. ACHR was 15 down to 7, down 40, 50%. What's going on with AI stocks? Maybe they shouldn't have gone up as high as they did. All these other ones you talked about, SMCL, SoundHound, ACHR, Joby Aviation in the same group. Look, they're all getting hammered. They shouldn't have probably gone up as high as they should have. And now they're coming down to earth. Again, quantum computings and, there's endless 40, 50, 60% down already. But the market is only down 3% maybe from the all-time high, right? So think about it. Think about what's going to happen to an ACHR and SMCR or a SoundHound if the market goes down another 10% here. They're certainly not going to outperform and go up, okay? So be really careful out there. Be really careful to who you're listening to. If you're just buying and selling stocks because some furu on X says so, God help you. You're going to get hurt. And so some green. I mean, look, you know what they say, right? But there's one thing that Jim Cramer says that I agree with. One thing. Because he did block me, so I'm going to mention that again. And well, what I say is bears make money, bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered. That's my saying. What Jim says that I agree with is there's always a bull market somewhere. Okay? Highly recommend, even on your Robinhood app, you can set this scanner up. Look at your 52-week high list. It's simple. There are, even on a day like today, there are stocks that are making 52-week highs. Why don't you just stick with those? Those tell you where the money is flowing. Those tell you where the rotation is going, right? There's always, even on the worst days, even in a bear market, there are 52-week highs, okay? So instead of buy low, sell high, maybe buy high, sell higher. I think that works really well. So, green, red, doesn't matter, man. We're trading. Investing is different than trading, and we're trading, and we're getting our asses handed to us at the moment. And with limited pain, but still, pain is pain. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday, trading with Sergio, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And again, my condolences to one of our members on the members chat group. I do have a members chat group. If you're kind enough to join. You'll learn quite a bit. I do have a Telegram chat group link where I post my trades live. Again, none of this is trading, financial, or investment advice. And then I hold a weekly live stream on Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, just for the members. They're learning a lot. They're learning how to lose. They're learning how to win. And Actually, at least they're learning structure. They're learning new things, adding tools to their toolbox. Is it going to make them money on the long term? Probably. The more tools you have in your toolbox, the better it is for you. So, and if you do join, click join, send me an email, sergio@sergioavadian.com. I'll send you the Telegram chat group link, and then you can join the degenerates over there, including myself. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Sorry for the technical problems. I will be back.